Class 8 History Chapter 2 Establishment of Company Power Part 4. The Battle of Buxar in 1764. In the Battle of Plassey, we saw how the East India Company removed Mir Qasim from his throne and appointed Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal. Now, he became very angry with the British rule, and now he wanted to fight with the Britishers, but his army was very poor. So he went to ask help and joined hands with Sujad-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Awadh, against the East India Company. They also gained support from the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. They clashed with the forces of East India Company at Buxar in 1764. This battle is known as a Battle of Buxar. In this battle, they were defeated. The British won the battle. After the Battle of Buxar, Mir Qasim fled from the battle scene and spent the rest of his life in an unknown place. And the other Mughal emperor, Sujad-ud-Dawla, escaped to Holy Gand, and the Awadh was vacated, captured by the East India Company. The Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II joined again hand with the Britishers. He gave the East India Company the Diwani right, that is, the right to collect revenue in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Later, Sujad-ud-Dawla was given back Awadh. The Britishers gave him back the Awadh, but he was now more of a representative of British. And even though the British gave back him the Awadh as the Nawab of that place, but all the power was captured by the British. He was only a representative of British. Like this battle came to an end. Next one is dual governance in Bengal. After the Battle of Buxar, a dual government came into existence. Under the dual form of government, the British gained the right to collect Diwani revenue. The Nizamat, civil administration, or the responsibility of maintaining law and order and protecting the state boundaries remained with the Nawabs. The Nawab has to see the law and order of the place. But the common people suffered the most under the dual government. The dual government means ruling two parties, double government. Yes, one side Britishers are ruling, other side the Nawabs. So the both government ruling, who will suffer? The people. In the same place, two ruling parties. Then the main people going to suffer is the poor people. So they had a lot of struggle. Other thing, the revenue collection was the right of the British. Without any source of revenue, the Nawab was put to responsibility of the welfare of the people. This came to known as a double government. This brought disaster for the Bengal. Nawab could not do much for the welfare of the people, as he was paid a small annual amount for running the administration. At this time, Bengal was struck with a famine, and the relief of people was neither provided by Nawab nor by the British. This system of governance was ended by the Governor General Warren Hastings in 1772, and Calcutta was made the capital of British power. Next one is Anglo-Mysore Wars in 1766 to 1799. After Bengal, it was the Mysore which had to bear burden of wars between their rulers and the British. Mysore was ruled by Hyder Ali and after him his son Tipu Sultan, the strong kings. The British was engaged in several wars with both rulers of Mysore, which came to be known as Anglo-Mysore Wars. The main reason why Britishers liked Mysore was Mysore had the rich spice trade in the south. The British interested in Mysore because of this reason, and they tried to become friendly with Hyder Ali, but they couldn't. Hyder Ali was friendly with French, so French supported Hyder Ali sometime. Then he fought with his own strong army. He fought with Britishers. The first Mysore was won by the Hyder Ali, and his son Tipu Sultan tried his best to help his father and get back his place of power. But the third and fourth was Tipu Sultan was defeated by the combined force of British, and the Nizam of Hyderabad supported especially the Britishers. This way they lost the war. Tipu Sultan was very strong ruler, and he had a very strong army with him. He alone fought 2 wars and he put the Britishers down. But the 4th war, the battle of Srinagarpatnam, he failed. He was killed by the defeated and killed by the Britishers in 1799. After this, the Britishers got hold of the war state of Hyderabad. Mysore was under their control. All the kingdom of Marathas and the Hyderabad came under the control of the rule of Britishers, and they started to capture all the wealth of that place. That way the battle came an end after the death of Tipu Sultan. Next one is Anglo-Maratha Wars in 1818. After the decline of Mughal Empire, it was believed that Marathas under the leadership of Peshwas could be ruler over India from Delhi. However, this dream of ruling India got shattered after the defeat of the Marathas in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761. Marathas got divided after this defeat, and different chiefs started ruling different parts of the country. They belonged to dynasties. The British fought 3 wars with the Marathas. The cause for the first war was the struggle for power between 2 Peshwa claimants, Narayan Roy and Raghunath Roy. Raghunath Roy took the help of the British, and the first war took place. The second was fought by other Maratha clans with the British, and the third and final war was fought by Marathas in order to get back their lost territories. But this war sealed the fate of the Marathas and paved way for the British to control the seat of Maratha power in India. The main reason was disunity among the Maratha rulers. That was the main reason how the East India Company got hold of capture this Maratha kingdom, who was eventually able to defeat them. That was the main reason British East India Company could defeat this kingdom was because of the disunity among the Maratha rulers. Under Warren Hastings, the reigning Peshwa was dethroned, and his territories were vaccinated through the policy of subsidiarity alliance. Next one is expansion of the British rule in India. British, who had entered India as a trading company, now they sought the political power to maximum in their profits through the trade. The British ruthlessly followed the rules and tried to loot the wealth of the country and taken to their European countries. Also, they increased their military power, so they could easily expand their empire in India. The trade contacts slowly gave way to British authorities in India. They came as traders slowly. They started their training business, their headquarters they made, and slowly making enmities between the kingdoms as the Nababs and the kingdom rulers, and they made between the fight between them, and they became the holders of the entire country. That way they took power over the entire country of India in their hand, and they became the authorities. They came the political power.